Hello, and welcome to Microsoft Build. My name is Gwenael Bego. I'm a product lead for AI tools. I'm joined by Antonio.
Yes, I'm Antonio Rodriguez, and I'm a product manager at AI Tools as well.
And we're super happy to be with you all today to talk about tools and agents in action. So we're going to show you how you can set up document processing workflows using newest Copilot tools. So today we're going to talk about a few things together. We're going to talk about document processing workflows. In general, we're going to introduce our new document processor agent, which is our new out-of-the-box agent for document processing. And then we're going to show you how you can go and fully customize an agent using new custom tools and set up content processing workflows. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about document processing. We know that there is a big need in the enterprise today for document processing tools. And this is because the amount of data that we process and that we generate in the enterprise today is really overwhelming. We've seen studies that have shown that up to 90% of new enterprise data is unstructured. That's over 150 trillion petabytes of data that is generated in the enterprise today. And a lot of these data formats, so whether the emails, the images, the documents that you process, documents really constitute a central part of that data. And a lot of the times when you're setting up an enterprise workflow, a document is at the heart of that process. And there's various examples of this in the enterprise today. Use cases, for example, in financial services where you want to set up invoice processing. There's, government workflows to process application forms, medical results in healthcare, even production reports in energy. In a lot of these enterprise processes, you have a document at the heart of the process. And this is true not just for these four examples that I stated, but also across a very wide range of industries and disciplines today.
Yeah, that seems pretty cool. But let's say I have an agent that I want to build and that process documents autonomously, but I don't know where to start. What should I do?
Yeah, so that's a great question, basically. How can I set up a process to automate basically the workflow based on this document? And so you can build all of this, from scratch, set up the different workflows, set up the agents, set up the prompts that will control your process. But you can also use our new out-of-the-box document processor agent, which we're happy to introduce today.
That seems amazing. I want to see the demo now.
It is. All right, so let's go into the demo. But just before we go into the demo, I just want to give you a bit of a background of, what this agent does. So basically, it's going to follow a typical workflow for document processing. So collecting different documents, the different sources. It's going to classify the document. It's going to extract content from it, validate it, integrate it into a downstream system. And so it's going to do all of that autonomously, but with a human sort of controlling and validating what it's doing.
Nice.
Okay, so now we can go into the demo. And to start off the demo, what I want to show you is how easy it is basically to set up this new document processor agent. So it's available in Copilot Studio out of the box. And so basically I just have a setup wizard that I can just click install and click through. And once that installs, there's going to be a configuration wizard that I'm going to go through. And it's really going to guide the maker through all of the different steps so that you can customize this document processor agent. Because the hard part oftentimes in setting up these workflows is getting it to work on your specific enterprise data. So we took special care to give you all of the different configuration steps to be able to tailor that agent for your specific use case. So to start things off, I'm going to show you basically the configuration wizard, so how you can set up this new document processor agent. The first step that you have to do is you have to give it some documents, right? You have to show it samples of the type of documents that you want to process. So in this first step, I'm going to be giving a document to my document processor agent, and it's going to analyze it. So you can see, for example, that here it's already extracted all of the data from my document. So this is the AI just being able to understand what's in the document. And it's going to give me confidence to look at the different types of extracted data. And I can also kind of tweak which data I want the document processor to extract. And so this enables me to customize the process that the agent is going to follow. And I can do more than point and click. I can also really create even my own custom instructions. So for example, here in natural language, I can tweak the instruction, and I can test the instruction and see how that will impact basically the data that is extracted by the agent. So here you can see that I've tweaked the instructions slightly in natural language, and it's given me a different set of extracted data. Another thing that's interesting is you can also set up validation rules. So here, for example, I can teach the agent to extract data in a specific format, follow specific number formats. So basically, I'm sure that the agent will behave in a very specific way. There's even more advanced rules that you can set up. So you can set up your own rule in natural language. For example, here I'm saying the customer name must be a specific value. And I can set up basically different outputs based on that specific rule. So here, for example, if the rule is false, I can say that I want to set up an approver that's going to validate how that data is extracted. So here, I'm going to type in my approver name, and that's going to allow me to basically control basically what the agent does. All right, we went through the first part of the configuration wizard. I set up basically a document. I gave some information to the agent about how to process it.
And that was easy.
That was super easy.
Yeah.
I just had to point and click and describe in natural language what I want to do.
Indeed.
Now, just before I finish the configuration, I'm going to set up basically my data sources. And that's easy as well. We have different types of data sources to choose from. Outlook, so basically when I receive an email, or SharePoint, where I can have different documents available. So here I've set up basically my document processor agent, and now I'm good to go. One thing that I can do is I can keep sort of fine-tuning the configuration of the data of that agent. So I can actually go into Dataverse, see the extracted data, and I can tweak it. And then when I've completed the setup, basically in Copilot Studio, I'm going to see the recap of this agent. And as you can see, what's really interesting about this setup is I just followed the wizard, and now I have an agent that's fully configured for me. It has all of the instructions already set up. It has all of the workflows already set up. So I'm good to go. A process that could have taken me, days to try to figure out. In a matter of minutes, I just went through the wizard, and I have my agent sort of ready to go. And so let's kind of look at what is the outcome here. I have the different description of what the agent does. I have general instructions that it's supposed to follow. I have a set of topics that were created to sort of create a very tailored experience, a conversational experience. I have the Dataverse data sources that are already set up, and I have the different flow-based actions that are already set up as well, that are going to be able to control what the document processor agent does. So all of that created basically in a matter of minutes. So Antonio, now that I've set up my agent, I don't know, typically how you set up your agent, but when I've set it up, I want to test it.
I want to test it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question to my agent. So I'm going to say it hello, and it's going to greet me. And basically, I'm going to test it and say that I want to process basically a document, and I want to see if it's going to be able to extract that correctly. So naturally, I'm going to upload a document to the agent. So I'm going to set it. I'm going to give it kind of a similar type of layout that I put in the configuration wizard. And as you can see, the agent was able to automatically extract all of that data almost instantly. So all of the different fields that I set up in the configuration wizard that I sort of customized and verified through the config wizard, those are all right there. So that's great. Now that I have confidence that it works, I can actually see it run basically end to end.
Sure.
Because what's interesting is these new agents, it's not just a conversational agent, right? It can also take actions on your behalf. So let's see that in action. So basically, at the start of the process, I'm going to be receiving an email with a document. And I want to see the agent be able to analyze that email automatically, extract the right information, and process it in the way that is relevant to me. So let's say that I receive an email with a document, like an invoice attached. And then let's see how the agent is able to do that. So we saw that in the set of actions, basically, the agent was calling upon flows, Power Automate flows, to trigger the end-to-end process in a very deterministic way. What that does, it's going to basically send a notification to a monitoring and validation station. So this is a new app that sort of comes with the document processor agent that allows a human to control what it's going to be able to do. And so the way the app works is you have a list of documents that it's processing, and you're going to be able to validate the content. So typically the way that you would validate it is starting with an approvals flow. So typically the way that you set up a process, you're going to have a maker that builds the agent and an approver that's going to be validating how that agent runs. And so here, basically the job of the approver is going to be to look at basically the extracted data from the document. So there's this new validation station, which is a side-by-side viewer. It has the document, and then it has the data that was extracted. And so as an approver, I can go through the different fields and I can check if the agent did the work in the appropriate way.
Cool.
All right, so let's keep going with the rest of the demo. We talked about the validation station. An important part of the workflow is also the approval flow. So the way that an approver is going to be able to have human control over what the agent is doing is through the Teams app, through the approvals app in Teams. So basically every time that I've set up a rule for my agent to trigger an approval to a human, in case maybe, I don't know, the field wasn't extracted correctly or it didn't follow one of the rules, the agent is going to send a notification to the human in Teams for them to approve the data that was extracted. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to show you basically one of the benefits of using an agent, which is really the conversational aspect of the agent. Because what's really interesting with this agent, this new document processor agent compared to typical workflows, is that I can have a conversation with it, just like if I was, interacting with a human, and the agent is going to explain to me basically what it has done. So I can ask about maybe like the processing status of a typical document that I know that I've received. And then the agent is going to basically query its knowledge source, and it's going to give me a precise status. For example, the invoice was exported, it was rejected, it was approved. And again, I can tailor all of that through the configuration wizard. I can ask more questions, like maybe how many documents, were processed with a given status. And again, the agent is going to be able to reply to me. So there's really a new novel interactive element to it, where I can really have a conversation with my agent, and the agent is going to tell me basically information around the types of tasks that it has done. So there we have it. That was our demo of the document processor agent that is now available in public preview.
That was amazing. I feel I can use that for my agent.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you, Gwen.
And let's recap what we just saw in this demo. Basically, there's lots of key benefits to using this new document processor agent. The first one that we saw is that it is super easy and super fast to build. So I don't have to train a model. I don't have to label documents for it to work. I don't have to set up all of the different workflows. Everything is just there out of the box. The other big thing is that there's really an element of the human being in the loop of the process that the agent runs. So there are conversational experiences that I can use to learn about what the agent has done. And I can control exactly what the agent is going to process with this new monitoring validation station and the connection with the approvals app. All right, and what's really interesting about this agent is it's a reusable agent. I think one of the big themes that we have at Build this year is everything linked to multi-agents. So basically having agents being able to talk together, interact together. And what's really cool about this new document processor agent is that it can be invoked by other enterprise agents for the specific task of processing documents. Okay, we saw how the document processor can do a typical invoice processing workflow, but maybe you have different types of document processes in your enterprise, and you want to build one from scratch. And so one of the things that we also want to touch on is the different types of tools that are available to be able to do that. We saw that basically we have new Copilot tools that enables you to configure very precisely the task that you want your agent to do. Then your agent or your flow, if you want it to be a little bit more deterministic, can go ahead and run that task. And then using Power Apps, using Teams, you can monitor the execution of that task. Antonio, I would love for you, if you could sort of walk me through the process of maybe running and building a very custom agent that you've built sort of by hand in Copilot Studio. Could you do that for me?
Sure, I can do that. I will start with the result this time.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, great.
So here's the demo. For this demo, let's imagine that you are a car rental company and that you want to provide a way for your customers to submit car accident reports. And so we have built this agent so you can do that autonomously. You can even see that there is an option which is report a car accident that we are going to use. So we are going to click on that pill and see what the agent does. So the first thing the agent is going to ask us is, can you upload the form that you filled for the accident? Something that you usually provide. And we are going to send this form. This is a simple form where you can see information from the stakeholders. And also what's interesting is you can see a drawing at the bottom with the circumstances of the accident. And you can see that John Doe seems to be responsible because he failed to stop. Let's see how the agent analyzes it. So we upload the document. And the first thing that the agent is going to do is trying to get the information and find the contract that is related to this information. Here it is. So we can see that it manages successfully to find the contractor, John Doe, but also the franchise amount and the tax, so it can compute the total amount. So that's great. And also, what is interesting, we can see who is responsible for the accident and the reason. The reason is failed to yield at the stop sign. Interesting.
Wow, so that's amazing. So did it just like come up with all this information by itself, or is this real? Like, what is this information mapped to?
Yes. So it analyzed the image and managed to find who is responsible for the accident. So that's crazy. That's cool.
What about like the franchise amount, the total amount? How did it come up with these numbers, basically?
We are going to see that. Well, yeah. Let's go ahead and look at how we built this agent. So the way we built that is that we created a topic, a car accident processor topic that gets triggered each time there is a query around car accident. So it gets triggered with this kind of query, and when it requires the file, the form that you fill in for the accident, it passes it to a prompt that extracts the information from it.
Can I just pause 1 second and ask you, so like, what is a prompt useful for maybe in a topic? Like, when should I use a prompt in a topic?
So anytime you need to do some AI logic inside a topic, that's super useful. When you are in topic, you are in a deterministic area, right? But you may need to do some AI logic. Bringing prompts inside your logic will help you doing a lot of stuff like extracting information or getting information from external sources.
Cool.
So let's see how these prompts behave. So here with this prompt, you can see one interesting thing is the capability of handling multimodal input. Here in a prompt is as easy as that. When you want to process a document or an image, you just pass it as a normal instruction inside your prompt and you can analyze it. You can provide a sample and see what it gets extracted from it. So here we provided the same accident form and we can see that the information is extracted correctly.
Okay, and so the data that I want to extract, basically I can just type the data that I want in the prompt, and I know that the agent is going to extract that for me.
Of course. And in that case, we also have the JSON output feature, which blocks like the format that needs to be returned each time we are going to run this prompt. And also it's going to have all the variables, all the fields of the JSON as variables inside the topics, which is super powerful.
Oh, so if I want to reuse this information in another part of my topic or in another part of a flow, I can do that because it's the JSON structured format.
Yes, exactly. You got it.
Okay, awesome.
And so let's go back to the topic. And what we do with this information is that we pass it to a second prompt that gets the information from structured data sources. In that prompt, we are going to get the information from Salesforce and from Dataverse connector. In Salesforce, we are going to get the contract type and the franchise amount. And from Dataverse, we are going to get the tax percentage. Here is really how powerful is the knowledge feature inside prompts.
Okay, and this is new, right? I could only have a Dataverse connection up until now, but now I can actually go reach out to Salesforce to get that data too.
Exactly. And now that we have all this information, we need to build the report, right?
Yeah.
And so we have a third prompt for that is going to structure the information and do something a bit more interesting. So here you can see how the prompt structure the information, but we also have something new, which is the PowerFX formula. As you can see here, you have total amount. This is computed by a formula. Also, at the bottom of this report, you can see that we are also requiring the current date. It's a function that we can use from formulas.
But so couldn't the prompt do this directly? What's the benefit of having in like a specific formula in there?
We know that sometimes GPT is not always good at math. So doing some specific calculation is great. But also if you want to get the current date, for example, we don't have any other choice than to use external information for that. And PowerFX is really useful.
Got it. So it's a very deterministic way to run a formula so that you're sure that the calculation is correct, basically.
Totally. And so now that we have all this information, like here the current date, we can test the prompt and we'll see the exact same result as what we have in the agent with all the information that we have.
Got it. So when the agent was giving me a franchise amount, total amount, tax, it was actually grabbing the data of my actual contract from Salesforce and then doing transformations in PowerFX to give me a specific amount.
Yes. And you can see we did that in 3 steps. You can see how granular we can reach with prompts. We extracted the information from the document, from the image. Then we got the information from external sources like Salesforce or Dataverse. And then we structured the prompt and we used some fancy formulas as well. So
got it.
That's super powerful,
so
right?
That's really the benefits of using prompts is you're still using AI to run the process, but you're giving it a very specific instruction to run a task so that the output will be correct.
Exactly. So I'm good with the demo. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a great demo. Thank you, Antonio. That was amazing. And, we saw lots of different things in this demo. And, I'm thinking maybe we should kind of recap kind of what's new. What are the new things that we saw compared to what we have today?
You're right. We discussed about that. One of the things that is really cool is the knowledge connector. So before we only had Dataverse, and now we introduced new connectors. So we introduced Salesforce, SAP, Oracle, and I think you will help me for the last one.
And Zendesk.
Zendesk, yeah. So we have these 4 new connectors, which are coming. It's now in public preview. And so that's pretty cool because we extend the way our prompts are going to answer in a contextually to your business data.
Right. So this is applying kind of a standard knowledge RAG pattern to your prompts, enhancing it with knowledge from an external data source.
Exactly.
Cool. We saw some other kind of fancy math calculations using PowerFX. Can you talk a little bit more about that as well? Yeah,
something new also and very cool that is right now in private preview is the PowerFX. So we are bringing PowerFX formulas to the prompt. So you can do any kind of calculation whenever you need that inside your prompt. But you can also use pre-built functions. We saw it with the now function that gets the current date. So imagine all the things that now you can do with your prompts thanks to these formulas.
That's great. So, amazing stuff. We saw that we have, lots more new interactive AI-powered tools available in Copilot Studio to really help you tailor your agent to behave in a specific way. We know that these tools are also reusable, beyond Copilot Studio, also in other products of the Power Platform, like Power Automate, Power Apps. I know that there's new capabilities there as well that have just been released and that we haven't seen. Can you help walk me through, in Power Automate, for example, like what are some of the new capabilities related to tools that have come up?
Yeah, so if we go to this slide, for example, it may be difficult for you to start with a prompt. You may not have the idea or you may not know how to start. So that's why we release 60 plus templates for the prompts that you can use across your apps, across your agents, across your flows. Here in this example, you can even filter them out. We pick this prompt, which is extract key points from a contract. This is something that you could do. We have pre-built inputs inside these prompts. You can fill it with the sample value. Here it's a contract that you have, and see how it works. You can even extract the information as JSON. If it fits your needs, then save it and use it everywhere we want in the platform. That's very cool, and that's how you can reuse your prompts across the platform, starting with something with a template or from scratch, and then reusing it across the platform.
Super cool. So lots of new templates, prompt templates to help you get started, kind of showing key scenarios across different disciplines and contexts. So that's great. If you don't know how to build your prompts, or if you're looking for ideas of standard prompts, the way to go is go to the prompt library and, try out the new prompt builder.
That's it, Gwen.
Cool. And we saw another capability, when you just kind of uploaded a file to the agent and you were able to extract the data with a prompt. That's kind of new as well. It's now generally available, right?
Yeah, that's a great feature. And it was public preview for a few months, and right now it's generally available, so you can use it at scale. And so here in this example, we can see how easy it's to add an image, for example, in a prompt. Here it's a headset in a lost and found prompt. You can analyze the image and try to find key characteristics of the image and output that to the user. Here in that case, the scenario is obvious. You can use it, for example, in an airport company when you have lost and found items and describe the images, for example. But it can apply to many other fields.
Yeah, we know that there's lots of sort of image-based processing. We talked about car damage in your demo, here identifying objects, even identifying a schema, like a visual, like we saw. Yeah.
And you can extract also text from documents. You can also provide a PDF document as well, or an image. Depends on what you need to do. So
this works now with documents and images. It's generally available, and it's already available in the prompt builder today.
Yes.
Cool. One more question that I have for you. So let's say maybe we know that, you can't always use GenAI across every type of industry or every type of discipline. Sometimes they're regulated industries. And sometimes you want maybe a more deterministic approach, than a prompt to extract data. What are some of the options that we have there?
Yes. So you're right. Sometimes, generative AI is great, but sometimes it's not possible for you to use it, or it can have limitations. That's a possibility. We have a custom document processing model that we had for years now, and we even improved the model recently, because we are now plugged with to the latest Azure Document Intelligence API, the 4.0, which improves a lot the OCR capabilities. And so you can build a model with that in few clicks, just providing samples and drawing box in the samples. And you can use that model inside apps and flows very easily.
I know that model is really has a lot of usage today. And so the big new thing is that we've changed the underlying model. Now it's using the latest Azure Document Intelligence 4.0.
Yes.
And so do you know, what are the types of benefits from that model? Like how does it improve compared to today? Are there specific types of documents or fields that it processes a little bit better, or what are some of the improvements?
As you can see, for example, in this screen, that's very interesting. If you want to process invoice, you can even start with this pre-built option. And so you have minimal work to do to get this model. You can process any kind of invoice, or structured document with the template, and that will be super easy. But what's also powerful is that you can also process unstructured and complex documents and extract information from it using the general document that is using the neural technology of Azure behind the scene. So the possibilities are quite infinite in that case.
That's great. And so with these tools, everything is already sort of integrated in the Power Platform, in Power Automate, in Power Apps, in Copilot Studio.
Yes, you can use them in a flow, for example, if you want to build a document processing automation, that's possible, and a lot of customers are doing that today.
And so I know that with these this new integration with Azure Document Intelligence 4.0, we have not only the ability to have new custom models, we also have pre-built models, right?
Yeah, that's right. We already had a set of pre-built models in the past, and we still have them, to process invoices. But now we introduce new pre-built models for contracts, for healthcare forms, and for tax forms. And what we mean by pre-built is that you don't need any customization. You just need to, you can use them out of the box inside your apps, inside your flows. You can, as we see in the screen here, you can test them before and see if it fits your needs before using them. So that's something that, again, will help you build solutions in at the fastest time as possible.
Got it. And so can I also use these models in Copilot Studio in an agent?
So today you cannot, well, you can use them in Copilot through agents, through
agent flows.
Through agent flows.
Yeah.
Sorry, you cannot use them yet in topics.
Got it. Okay, so I would have to set up an agent flow into my agent that calls this model. So this is kind of the more deterministic route of I'm using an agent flow and I'm using a sort of a non-Gen AI model in a very deterministic way.
You can always use all of these models through flows, and as flows can be included as agent flows inside agents, that's possible to use them, of course.
Last but not least, I saw in some of the demos, there was an output format that I hadn't really seen yet with kind of my laser vision there. Can you talk about this new output format that I just saw there?
And that's normal that you don't see it in the tool today. It's because we are working on it. It's a very exciting feature. We are introducing the Word document as output of the prompt. So today you can output as text, as JSON, and we're working on making an output as Word document. And why Word document? It's because it's easy to edit, right? If you want to generate a prompt, an automated prompt that is going to provide documents at scale, you may want to have someone review the documents and edit them at some point. And so what we are doing here is that we are using the instruction from the user, and also we ask the user to provide a Word template, and we are generating a document according to the layout of the document that they provided. The idea here is to always have consistency in the format that we provide with the Word document.
Oh, got it. So it's not generating any type of document. It's generating the document, the template that I generated at design time, right? Always the same type of layout, basically.
Totally. Imagine you have a contract and you need to modify a set of information inside this contract, but you need to provide many contracts per day. You can do it at scale and then review them manually.
This will allow, for example, my agent to maybe grab the latest set of data and then generate that specific document in the right format for me to basically simplify the setup of that specific task.
You got it. That's right.
Cool. That is a great feature, fantastic feature. And so it is now in private preview, and I'm looking forward to that being generally available soon as well, hopefully.
I'll keep you updated, Gwen.
Okay, thank you. All right. I hope you enjoyed all of these demos today and an overview of the latest content processing tools that are now available for you in Copilot Studio, in Power Automate, and Power Apps. We saw lots of new capabilities today, so here's a kind of a quick recap. In the document processing space, we saw the new document processor agent to help you create now out-of-the-box workflows using an agent. We saw multimodal prompts that are now generally available. So you can use a prompt to process documents and images. We saw a new validation station so that you can be in control of the extracted data of the documents. If you don't want to use Gen AI for your scenario, we also saw updates to the traditional models that we had in AI Builder. So new custom document processing using Azure Document Intelligence 4.0, new pre-built models for contracts, healthcare, tax forms. We saw lots of new additions to prompts, a revamped prompt library with over 60 plus templates, new prompt monitoring solutions. We saw that we can also add power effects expressions, and that we can go beyond Dataverse connectors to also reach out to connectors like Salesforce and SAP. And finally, we unveiled the latest feature, doc generation, where you can have your prompt generate a word output. So a fantastic collection of new tools for content processing that you can integrate into your agents, apps, and flows today. And with that, here are some of the key takeaways for today's session. The first one is that agents are really here to revolutionize how we process emails, documents, and images. We saw that there are new conversational interfaces and that there are new sets of tools that can also help you configure your Copilot Studio agent to perform in a very specific way. We saw also that there is a new document processor agent that enables doc processing out of the box. So you don't even have to go build your agent from scratch. You can just already have a document processor agent that's there that you can configure and customize for your workflow. And finally, we saw some advanced set of tools and prompts in particular that really help you configure instructions for an agent for a given task in a very specific way. And that's going to ensure that the output of your agent is correct and a lot more deterministic. So thank you so much, Antonio, for being with me today.
Thank you, Gwen.
It was a great session. Thank you for your demo, and thank you for everyone watching online.
Thank you.